Trubisky trying to do it himself and scores the touchdown. Watson on a keeper. He cuts it back. Touchdown. Trubisky toward the end zone and caught. Touchdown. Deshaun for the end zone. Touchdown. Here's Trubisky to throw. Looking for Pro. Austin is there, and it is caught. Touchdown, Carolina.
Watson rolls to the right.
Watson throws for a touchdown with 1 second to go.
Deshaun Watson, Mitch Trubisky, two of the top quarterbacks in a somewhat thin quarterback class this year. Here's Mel's new mock draft 2.0, which is just out. He's got the defensive end, Myles Garrett, going number 1. Then he has Mitch Trubisky at 2, Deshaun Watson going 10 to the Bills. Let's bring in Mel and our NFL front office insider, Bill Polian. So John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan, listen, they might be rebuilding the depth chart at QB from scratch. Colin Kaepernick expected to opt out of his deal. Mel, you have the Niners taking Trubisky over Watson. Why?
Well, I think you look at the overall body of work of Mitch Trubisky this year. This was the only season he was a starting quarterback, so some will say, hey, a one-year starter, we can't take that high. But he had a great season overall. He did have the major struggles in the Sun Bowl against Stanford, where he had interceptions, bad decisions, some inaccurate throws, the fumble as well. Whereas Deshaun Watson late was playing his best football. Deshaun Watson early to midseason was not. You would have thought Deshaun Watson won the Heisman Trophy based on the way he finished. He did not. Lamar Jackson did. Why? Because he had early to midseason struggles with accuracy and decision making. Now he got hot. He caught fire. He had that great Final Four, culminating with the game against Alabama where he was lights out, same as last year against Nick Saban's defense. But when you put it all together, I gave the slight edge to Mitch Trubisky for number 2 overall pick to the San Francisco 49ers.
Could be so important to your franchise which guy you take. Bill, obviously you were involved in the Peyton Manning-Ryan Leaf year in 1998. You made the right choice with Peyton Manning. I don't think Watson and Trubisky are as highly rated as either of those two guys were, but take us inside the 49ers draft room and what goes into making that decision.
Well, yeah, I mean, nothing could be further from the Manning-Leaf than these two. Trubisky has no body of work, 13 games. Deshaun Watson's played a lot more games and played a lot better, in my opinion, but neither one of them approaches Leaf or Manning. You won't even mention Manning in the same breath as these two. So these are guys who belong at the bottom of the first round at best. They might be driven up by the need for quarterbacks, but I can't see taking Trubisky anywhere, even in the first round, in my opinion. We've got sketchy information right now. We don't have the medicals. We don't have the measurables. We don't have the psychological testing, and we don't have the interviews, all of which are terribly important for quarterbacks. So this is very incomplete information. All of that has to be done by the 49ers, and then you have to ask yourself, am I going to pass a difference-making defensive player who I'm likely to have for 7 to 10 years versus a quarterback who I know nothing about and who's likely to flame out more often than not. So to me, it's a no-brainer. Take the defensive difference maker.
There are so many qualities that go into drafting a quarterback and what you look for. Bill, what's your number one priority when you're looking at a quarterback, whether it's on the field or off the field, what you're looking for in a guy?
Well, there's so many things, but the number one thing is the ability to process under pressure. And both these guys fall a little short in that area. Trubisky a lot, if you looked at the bowl game, and he's 13 games. He's a baby. That's not enough to judge anybody. Deshaun had accuracy problems in the middle of the season. I personally felt he should have been a Heisman Trophy winner, but that means zero when it comes to the NFL. So, bottom line, he's got a body of work. He's played well in big games. I can see taking him. Trubisky, no, not in my opinion.
All right, there you go. Bill Polian and Mel Kiper weighing in on 2 of the top 3 quarterbacks. Deshaun Kaiser, some people like as well.